Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. Sorry for the delay. We had a little technical difficulty with the mic. We have summer bulbs. That's an understatement. I have a bit of a problem saying no to dahlias. And so we have, I don't know, 20 some odd or more varieties of dahlias. And so what I wanted to do today is kind of show you some of them and talk a little bit about the other bulbs that we also got in. Starting with dinner plate dahlias, this is a variety called Penn Hill Watermelon. We've carried it before. It's a good variety. These are all of the dinner plate dahlias. So these are the large flowering varieties. This is Fairway Spur. Great salmon-y color. These are going to get big. And I forgot to grab them, but we do already have tomato cages in stock for when you're planting your dahlias. Get ahead of it. Don't wait till they're too big to try to stake them. Put a tomato cage, especially on these bigger varieties, so that they don't flop and break. This is another one called Tartan. Great bicolor one. This is Sir Alfred Ramsey, a great tone-on-tone one. And this is Bristol Stripe. So these are all the dinner plate dahlias. Oh, that reminds me. I had a conversation with a customer yesterday. I have been in search of tree dahlias. They're not something that I can find via the regular route of growers because nobody grows them anymore. If any of you have tree dahlias and would love to trade a nice big stock of a tree dahlia for something, I would be very interested because I would love to propagate them. I lost my mother stock plant a few years ago because it was in a container and it got frosted. So tree dahlias, if anybody knows anybody, put the word out. I want some, preferably in the pinks or purples. That's that. A very interesting thing that happened this year, Proven Winners came out with some new varieties. Sorry. This one's called Brigitte. This one is Cranberry Classic. That's a nice ball one. That was a duplication. Here's another ball one called Joey Hubert. And then Dahlia Vectra. So these are all Proven Winner tubers. And as you know, Proven Winners are lovely, but they tend to be a little bit on the pricey side. So these are a little bit more pricey, but I couldn't resist the colors, so I think you're going to really like them. We did substitute some bulbs with other companies, so we do have some things from Simple Pleasures. This is a variety called Purple Gem, which I swear looks like it's neon lit behind it. This one is Isle or Islay. I don't know. Potato. Elaine Mimone. Great color. Love that. This is Espacio. And then we have Genova. We also have a bunch of decorative dahlias. I'm not going to go over all of them because it's just a little much, but definitely a lot of decorative dahlias. They have a tendency to not be as tall, so they don't always require as much staking. Also, we have the semi-cactus. These get a little bit bigger. They're kind of like dinner plate, but they're not quite as big, the size of the flower, but very, very pretty. Going into other bulbs, a lot of you guys, the last few years, we have planted 1 gallon liatris, and you guys have eaten them up whenever they're planted. So I suggest actually getting some in bulb form and planting them yourself. They're a great cut flower. They do really, really well as cut flowers. Ranunculus. So many great varieties right now, and some of them are from that other bulb company. This one I'm in love with. It's called Cafe Latte, and the other one is called Purple Sensation. Now, traditionally, you might think of ranunculus as coming in with the what we call spring bulbs or fall bulbs. They do usually come in, but they can also come in with our summer bulb group. They would just bloom later. So we have those, and we also have some of the more traditional ones in full color, not mixed, the orange and the pink, and then we have the multicolor. These make great cut flowers, and they're just really cheerful. We have freesias in double and single. We have Tigridia, which is a really cool, almost otherworldly flower. Looks like it's from another planet. And Crocosmia, of course. We didn't get as many of the varieties as I'd like, so I'm going to try to work on getting more. This is just regular Lucifer, which is kind of a dark reddish orange. There are about 3 other varieties. Emily Mackenzie. There's more. Also, begonias. We got begonias in for you. We have a red, an apricot, and a bouton de rose. Lovely. Great for hanging baskets, of course. Okay. These are another really fun one. These are anemones. And if you guys know anemones, they're not usually a double flower like this. They're singles. So these I'm really excited about. I just think this pink, it's just stunning. All that petal count. It almost looks like an armeria. Also, we got in, for those of you that didn't get any garlic during the fall grouping, we got in 2 boxes of the California jumbo garlic. So those are here if you want to plant any garlic. When it comes to planting dahlias, make sure that you follow the directions on the back. It says very clearly how deep to plant them. So this says 1 inch depth. Some of the other tubers need to be deeper. So you want to make sure that you follow those directions, because if they're not planted correctly, especially a bulb that needs to be planted deep, they have a tendency to fall. They don't stand rigid because there's not enough soil to support that stem. So make sure you follow the directions on that. I didn't talk about Ixia spiraxis and baboon flower. You know, it's kind of funny, the baboon flower, we were so curious yesterday when I was reviewing stuff, and Cindy decided to look up baboon flower, why it's called baboon flower. And it's actually called baboon flower because baboons eat them in, I think it was South Africa, something like that. So we don't have to worry about them for deer because deer don't like them, but baboons do. So keep your baboons out of the garden. We also got in this lovely lily. This is just a traditional oriental lily. Nice, fragrant, lovely. When it comes to planting the dahlias, you want to remember that, and this happens every year, people come in and they go, my dahlias aren't coming up. What's going on? The problem is that at night, you have a lot of chewing insects that just when that little tiny growth spurt happens, they chew it down right at the ground level. So it's essential in the beginning of spring to start putting out Sluggo Plus. You have to protect those tender new sprouts because they'll just keep chewing them down. There is a point usually where they start to the growth rate gets ahead of the chewing down, but that can be quite a ways out when we get warmer temps. So if you want to make sure your dahlias are coming up quickly and healthy and happy, Sluggo Plus around them. Sprinkle it out lightly around where the tuber was and where the stem is from the old plant. If you do have old stems, if you look at the stem on a dahlia, you will see segments much like a bamboo, okay, where there's like nodes every few leaf joints. If you have them cut back, you want to make sure, this is a very specific trait or thing to teach. If you leave that stem cut with that hollow part, as opposed to cutting it right down to where that joint is, earwigs, sow bugs, everything that loves to chew on things at night will live in that stem because that stem is hollow, much like a bamboo is. So if you have old stems and you want to cut them down, you can do that. Just make sure you cut them just above that joint so that you're not creating housing for the lovely critters that are going to chew your new growth sprouts at night when you're not out there yelling at them. So that's a little thing for that. Also, if you're doing large dahlias, any of the dinner plate dahlias or taller dahlias, now's the time to stake them. We have tomato cages. Also, when you go to plant, it is essential to use Sure Start. So make sure you're putting probably with any of the tubers, I would say about 1/4 of a cup at the base of the hole, mixed in really well. And then after that, or if you have dahlias now that are in the ground, as they start to emerge, or if we get to April 1st and you don't see anything emerging, of course, check the snail bait situation. But Maxi Bloom is a great product for dahlias because it really pushes that bloom production. Dahlias by nature grow very quickly on their own growth-wise. They may not put as many flowers out as you'd like initially, so this would definitely help. And you would want to do that at full strength, and I would say in the beginning, every 2 to 3 weeks at full strength. I know it sounds like a lot, but you're just trying to kind of push them into bloom production. Also, if you are having any problems with gophers, the dahlias will get eaten by gophers, so you definitely want to cage them. We have a few options for cages. We have a 1-gallon cage, which would be perfectly adequate. This is a 2-pack that we sell them in. They're 2 for $12. And then there's this one, which is what we call a 3-gallon, and they're sold individually. These work really well for larger dahlias, like the dinner plate or others, because it leaves them room to really spread out. Dahlias at one point were actually considered for a product to eat. They were looking at actually growing the tuber as something that could, because it's a high starch content. I don't know that they are edible, so do some research, but it was interesting the history that I looked up a few years back that said that. I thought that was cool. These are the little quart-size gopher cages. These would be great for things like the Ixia, the Spiraxis, the Freesias. With those, the gophers don't usually eat them, but they move them. So we find that a lot, especially in our front garden area that kind of circles the parking lot. They have moved, because what they do is when they're tunneling, they just shove things to one side or move them literally down the tunnel away from wherever they're going. And you end up with, we have naked lady bulbs that are popping up in the most obscure locations. And those bulbs are not small. So they are really moving them around. And it's fine if you don't care, but if you wanted all of your naked ladies or all of your freesia or all of your daffodils in one location and you want them to stay there, you might want to cage them just to keep them isolated there. So that's the gopher cage situation. I think that might be it. Sorry if we went long, but there was a lot to show you. There's so much here. Oh, also, there's more coming in. So this is just the initial large order that got shipped. We still are waiting for gladiolas. We're also looking into more crocosmias. There might be a few other dahlias that are still going to ship in. So lots and lots and lots of summer bulbs. Oh, potatoes. I forgot to mention potatoes. We have 4 varieties to choose from. They're $2.50 a pound. Seed potatoes, come and get them planted after the rains, hopefully. So I think that's it.
The poll.
Oh, the poll. Thank you, David. We have created a poll for you to look at that will drop out on Monday at 9 a.m. And that poll is for you to let us know where you want to see our social media. Where are you more likely to watch us, and where do you want to watch us? This is for you. So I love doing it, but this is for you. So we want to make sure that we're landing where you want to see us. Just a strong reminder, we are working very hard to upload a lot of our videos to YouTube. So we do have a channel on YouTube as well. So if you ever want to look something up, a video that we've done on certain techniques and whatnot, that's a great place to go. I think that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're staying warm. And we look forward to seeing you at the nursery.